2 years ago, Maya's life was turned upside down when her beloved cat, Leo, disappeared without a trace. She searched endlessly, holding on to hope but dreading the worst. Just as Maya began to accept his loss, Leo returned one icy winter night, bringing a mystery that would change everything. Maya couldn't believe it when Leo disappeared. At first, she thought he'd wander back home, but days turned into weeks, and Leo was nowhere to be found. Determined to find him, she searched every street in her small town, calling his name until her voice cracked. She put up flyers on trees and lampposts, each one carrying a heartfelt plea. "Please help bring Leo home." Maya spent endless nights scrolling through lost and found groups online, hoping someone had seen him, but there were no leads. As the weeks turned into months, Maya's hope started to fade. Friends tried to comfort her, telling her to move on, but how could she? Leo wasn't just a cat to her, he was family. Each night, she clutched Leo's favorite toy, tears soaking her pillow, and replayed their happiest memories together. She wondered, what if he's out there, scared and alone? Her friends eventually stopped mentioning Leo, thinking it would help her heal, but it only made the emptiness in Maya's heart worse. Her days blurred together, filled with work and silence. The ache of missing Leo never went away. Even after 2 years, a small part of her refused to give up hope. She often stared out her window, imagining him returning. Yet, the rest of the world seemed to have moved on, leaving Maya to face her heartbreak alone. One cold winter night, Maya was staring out her window, clutching a mug of tea. She had started to accept the heartbreaking reality that Leo might never come back. Just then, she heard a faint scratching noise coming from the door. At first, she dismissed it as the wind, but then the scratching came again, sharp and deliberate. Maya froze, her heart racing. Could it be? No, she told herself. It couldn't possibly be Leo. The scratching grew louder, more insistent. Maya set her mug down and took a shaky step toward the door. Her pulse quickened with every step. Slowly, she reached out and turned the cold doorknob. As the door creaked open, icy winter air hit her face, making her shiver. There, sitting on the snowy porch, looking up at her with those piercing green eyes, was Leo. "Maya," he whispered, her voice breaking. Leo didn't move, but let out a low, soft meow. Tears blurred Maya's vision as she dropped to her knees, reaching out with shaky hands. "Is it really you?" she choked. Leo didn't respond, but simply looked at her, his eyes filled with a mix of recognition and fear. Maya scooped him up, clutching him tightly to her chest as tears streamed down her face. After Leo came inside, Maya noticed something was different about him. He wasn't acting like the playful, loving cat she remembered. Leo avoided the sunny spots he used to love and preferred hiding in corners. Sometimes he would hiss at shadows on the walls. Even his meow sounded different, more like scared cries than the comforting purrs she was used to. Maya's heart sank. What had happened to him during those 2 long years? She started to notice physical changes too. Leo had small wounds on his paws, and his fur was rougher, thick, and matted with dirt. There was a strange, chemical smell to him that no amount of washing could remove. Maya felt a growing sense of unease. What had Leo been through? Why was he acting so strange? Maya's heartache over losing him was replaced with fear. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The life Leo had lived during those 2 years had changed him in ways she couldn't understand. She knew she had to find out what had happened to him. Maya decided it was time to take Leo to the vet. She hoped a thorough examination would shed light on what had happened to him. The vet ran several tests, checking Leo's overall health and trying to identify the strange odor clinging to his fur. When the results came back, Maya's heart sank. The vet found traces of a rare chemical in Leo's bloodstream and fur. It was something she couldn't identify, but suspected was highly toxic. Leo must have been exposed to this over a long period, the vet said. Keep a close eye on him. This could have lasting effects. Maya's stomach churned. What had Leo been through? The vet's words only added to her fears. She couldn't believe Leo had been exposed to something so dangerous. How had he survived? Maya's mind raced with questions. Where had he been? What had he endured? The answers weren't clear yet, but she was determined to find out. Maya decided to reach out to her community for help. She posted pictures of Leo online and asked if anyone had seen him during the time he was missing. At first, there were no responses, but then, one evening, she received a message from a man who claimed he'd seen a cat matching Leo's description near an abandoned industrial site not far from town. I've seen stray animals around there before, the man said, but I always thought that place was too dangerous for them. Maya's heart skipped a beat. An abandoned industrial site? She knew the place had a dark past. It had been shut down years ago due to illegal chemical dumping. Rumors persisted that shady activities still happened there in secret. Could Leo have wandered into that toxic wasteland? Maya's stomach twisted with dread. She started researching the site and found old articles about hazardous substances that had caused severe health problems for nearby wildlife. When she compared the chemical traces found on Leo to those mentioned in the reports, the connection was undeniable. Her heart sank. Maya felt a mix of fear and anger. How could such a place exist so close to home, putting innocent animals like Leo at risk? She knew she had to uncover the truth. Maya couldn't ignore the truth any longer. She called the police station to find out more about the industrial site. The police confirmed that the chemical on Leo was tied to a high-profile criminal case involving illegal experiments at the abandoned site. The exposure had altered Leo, his behavior, instincts, even his appearance. This case goes deeper than you think, the officer told Maya. Her heart sank. What had they done to Leo? Maya's mind raced. How could such a thing happen in her own town? She felt a mix of fear and sadness for Leo, and anger at the people who could do such a thing to innocent animals. The police officer explained that the chemicals used were part of illegal activities, contaminating the area and affecting whatever or whoever came into contact with them. Maya's stomach churned. She looked at Leo, who seemed scared and unsure. His once vibrant spirit was now dimmed by the horrors he had endured. Maya whispered to him, "You're safe now, Leo. No one will hurt you again." The reality was harsh. Leo's transformation wasn't just physical. It marked the end of the life he once had. Maya hugged Leo tightly, her eyes brimming with tears. She knew their time together was going to be short, but at least he was home, safe from harm.